In this week's Parsha, Parshat Vaetchanan, we find the code for parents to developing and raising kind kids. We find the mitzvah of loving Hashem. Ve'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. You should love Hashem with your whole heart, with your whole soul, and with all your means. The Midrash in Sifrei explains each of these phrases and how it applies to loving Hashem. The phrase loving Hashem with our whole heart means to love Hashem with both our inclinations, the good inclination and also the bad inclination, which is our ambitions and inclinations towards the physical, whether that be eating, sleeping, procreating, and everything else in between. We use everything for the good. We're able to serve Hashem not only in the four walls of the Beit Midrash and in the synagogue, but through our daily life, through the daily mundane things that we do. That's serving Hashem with our whole heart. Sometimes times that get difficult, and we're called upon to even sometimes sacrifice our life for the Torah, whether it be for instead of idolatry or adultery or murdering other people. Those three cardinal sins are all things that we should rather die and not do. Sometimes we're able to express that love for Hashem through even sometimes giving up our life. And finally, the last way to love Hashem is b'chol me'odecha, with all our means. That sometimes being Jewish is not only difficult but even expensive. Whether that's Jewish education, whether that's buying kosher food, or that's buying a sukkah, a lulav, an etrog. There's so many things that are extra expenses being Jewish. Nonetheless, another way that we're able to express our love for Hashem, our connection and dedication to Judaism, is through the ways that we spend our money. Now, just as we love Hashem, and that's a mitzvah, we also have a mitzvah of ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, of loving our fellow neighbor as ourselves. And this is where, using the mitzvah of loving Hashem as a template, that we can discover the code to helping raise kind kids. When it comes to the mitzvah of loving others, we also see these three aspects in the way we're able to express our love to our fellow friend. Whether it's financially, the Mishnah and Avot explains that Knei lecha chaver, you should even acquire yourself a friend, literally buy a friend. And the commentators explain, the medieval commentators, that sometimes being a friend isn't only difficult, but it's also expensive. Sometimes we have to go out of our way for other people to make them feel comfortable or to give them a helping hand. And there's a cost, there's a financial cost. We should be prepared to also sacrifice some of our own comfort and financial security for our friends. And going backwards, b'chol nafshecha, all your soul, that the mitzvah of outreach, of reaching out to other Jewish hearts and bringing them closer to our own, and bringing ourselves closer to the Jewish tradition, is also a mitzvah of loving our fellow neighbor as ourselves. Saving their life. It's saving their spiritual future and helping them discover their path in Judaism. That's also b'chol nafshecha, with all your soul. You have to be able to be willing to sacrifice in order to help others. As Rabbi Karlibach explained, in order to get someone out of the mud, you have to get down and dirty. That when it comes to kibbutz, when it comes to outreach, yes, there's a certain personal, spiritual price that's paid. There's less time for your own learning. There's less time to do your own mitzvot There's less time to focus, sometimes even on your own family. But when you're dedicated to others and helping bring others closer to the tradition, that is also a way of doing the mitzvah of loving your fellow as yourself. And then finally, the last way to love your fellow as yourself with your whole heart. Explained before that it's really that b'chol levavcha is explained by the Midrash as both your inclinations, good and bad. But if we understand what an inclination is on a deeper level, it's not simply some physical drive, but it's our deepest ambitions. What do we really want for others? What do we really want of ourselves? And there we have it, maybe the most important key to helping us raise kids who are sensitive and kind, is making them look to do good, aspire to help, to be ambitious in their chesed. At the end of the day, the question that we should have for our kids shouldn't be just, "Oh, did you have a good day today?" Because that's simply asking them, "Well, we had a good day. Did you enjoy it? Was it fun?" Those are all nice, but as we all know, as mature people know, that doing important things and doing things that are ultimately going to result in meaning and in being satisfied with our achievements are difficult. It's very difficult. And rather, the question shouldn't be, was your day good? But the question should be, did you do good today? When we train our kids to do good today, to aspire to it, to be willing to give themselves of it, both physically, of their own physical strength, and sometimes even at their own as small spiritual cost or less spiritual comfort, then we can train kids to be kind. Our question shouldn't be, did you have a good day? But rather, did you do good today? When we ask that enough, God willing, that message will be internalized, and the answer will be a resounding yes. Shabbat Shalom.